Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream.
Hey folks, welcome to the show. I'm your host Sandman. Today we're going to be talking about carry options for Locksport, locksmithing, or anything you guys are getting up to these days. So let's get into it. So this is a case that I purchased many years ago, about 4 or 5 years ago. I had seen this case being used on YouTube in a few different iterations of it, and I finally was able to track down the company that sold this particular case. And I think it was Hard Case Survival. It was one of these smaller websites that are actually ultimately owned by Southern Specialties. And so this is the case. I had a bunch of different things on the inside, and we'll talk about the different accessories. I ended up using my own accessories to fit my needs from multiple different brands. The case itself at the time was like $60, was way overpriced for what it is. Though I do like it and I do use it on a regular basis, I've never recommended this case in any 200 videos up to this point until like right now, because I just didn't know if this was going to be what I use moving forward into the future permanently, and I couldn't justify the price, $60 for just a Velcro lined, zip up case. But I'm very happy with this current setup, but I think I may have found another option, which we're going to cover in the second half of this video. So this is kind of a two-parter. So I'm going to cover my current setup, and then we're going to create a new setup with what I think is going to be a more affordable, upgraded option. So in this particular case, I do have a zipper pocket on the back here with stuff that I use here, some soft goods. The main thing you want to take away from this case is that it's Velcro lined on both sides. All of the accessories that I have Velcroed into here are from completely different manufacturers. And of course, I will provide all of the links in the description down below. And then on the front, I just have a Velcro patch on the front. So it's a very simple nylon, Cordura, whatever you want to call it, case, but for $60, it's very versatile. I like it. There's a couple things I think that could be a little bit better. I'm not displeased with the zipper. It's a very good heavy duty zipper. I like it. It's a KAM10B. I don't know what that means, but some guys actually they're zipper heads. It's really weird. And but I really wish they had made use of this space here and added Velcro here so that I could add another attachment there. Like I could have put my bump hammer in the middle right here. I could have shaved off a little bit of the end of the bump hammer. Or I could have put another tool right there, like a framing tool for impressioning or something like that. I don't know how well it would have closed up if I had done that. That's another thing I think would be great for my purposes if I had a case that was maybe 2 inches deep instead of this 1.5 inch that we have here. So it's about 1 inch from the seam to the seam here, and then about another 1/2 inch here with the zipper. I would love to see a case like this about 2 inches deep all around, and then make more Velcro here, make Velcro here, and all Velcro here, and that would be super cool. Then you'd probably get your good $60 worth out of this. I recently competed at the Texas Locksmith Association Convention, Lockpicking Championships, for the second year in a row. I competed last year, and I competed this year. And this year I didn't win as well as last year I didn't win, but man, I really enjoy going. I really love competing, and nothing like a competition makes you sit down and practice 1 to 3 hours every single day for 6 months like that did. So, and it also forced me to get very organized because I didn't know what I was going to be doing. And I was like, I need an effective way to take all of my tools that could be possibly, I could encounter for different types of locks anyway. So right here, and I like the retention of these accessories here from, I think it's called 214 or 215 gear, which I'll provide links down. So this Velcro system here, like it, but also it's annoying that I have to un-Velcro it just to get stuff out. So I found a solution to that. We'll talk about that then. So I have a US Peacekeeper pouch here, and this is for all of my leashy tools. I'm missing a couple here because they're now in my everyday carry now that I'm no longer competing this year. But this is for all of my leashes. I can fit a total of 12 different leashes inside this case. This is without a doubt the best residential leashy case that you can find on the market. US Peacekeepers, it's like $6 or $7 on Amazon. It's fantastic. And so this is the best. I've purchased the $60 leather leashy cases. They don't fit the residential leashies because of the tensioner being too large on these. So that's what I put here. And then if up to this point, this is where I keep my primary lockpick case, which is like 90% multi-pick tools. And I have some Jimy Longs here, I have a plug spinner, and I have some lubricant here. However, I don't like that I'm trying to fit these two items in this lockpick case. This stuff isn't necessarily needed for everyday carry, but this stuff is needed for a second line carry, something that I keep in my vehicle at all times, or something that I would take with me to, let's say if I'm working on the job as a locksmith, or if I'm working in lockout, or if I'm working in some type of private security or military tactical operations. This doesn't need to be in my pocket, but this does need to be in my second line carry that is off body. So it doesn't have to go in the lockpick case, but I didn't know where else to put it in here, but I do have solutions for that. So this is my primary competitive pick set right here, and I'll go over that in a different video. And that was in there. And then I have a bump hammer here from Covert Instruments, and I have a Sparrows shove it tool. This is about one of the only few tools that I carry from Sparrows that I like, that they did well on. I can't wait for a better company to make this instead of Sparrows. I really don't like carrying any Sparrows products. It's just a personal thing. But here I have my 7-pin and my 8-pin tubular lock picks here from Southward. And then here I have a selection of bump keys. These are not all of my bump keys, but these are the most commonly seen. So I have like Master, M10, M1, and then I have, let's see, Sergeant LA, Sergeant LN, RN, and then I have a Schleg, all different manner of keyways for Schleg. I should just try to find the SC21 so I can replace all these. And then I have some, I think they're like nickel, silver, or nickel brass, or whatever alloy that is. So they're a lot stronger. So I have Arrow and Wiser and Quickset and stuff like that. I have a whole awesome collection of bump keys spanning something like, I don't know, at least 30, 35 different keyways, but they're all like nickel silver or nickel, I forget what the alloy is, but they're super strong. Can't even buy that set on the market anymore. I bought it like 10 years ago, and they just last forever. So this is fun. This is great. And then in the back here, I have a magnetic thing that goes right here. This is for my tension wrenches for when I compete, so that way I don't have to dive into my case. And this right here, I purchased this from Tracer Tactical. I don't know if this is still available, but I put that right here, and I put my lock picks inside of here, so I could just grab lock picks as I'm picking locks. And this worked perfectly. I mean, all of this worked really well. And I went with a competition team, and everybody on my team actually had magnetic, wrist or forearm holders, or they were using hairbands or something to hold all their tools, and it all worked really well. It was really cool. And then I have the Covert Instruments handkerchief, the Lockpicking 100, because sometimes I like to put this, when I go to Locksport meetups, I like to set this down. Oops, sorry. I like to set this down on the table because usually people in Locksport like to meet at bars. I never understood that because I don't drink, but when I go to Locksport meetups, except for my own Locksport meetup group, which meets at a comic book store and gaming store where we have air conditioning and we have peace and quiet and we can sit for 3 hours. But when I do go to Locksport meetups, they typically are at bars or restaurants. I want to put this on the table so that way I don't have to put my tools on, like a beer covered surface or something that's sticky or something that has food. I'll put it on this instead. I could put it this side down, so that way I have, I can either side down, it doesn't matter. I usually put this side down, and it's washable. So that just gives me something to put my tools on, so that way they're not sticky and grimy, all that other stuff. That's pretty much all there is to say or show about this. I am gonna gut it so you guys can see and take my word for it. Now, there are other accessories. Now, this accessory right here, I'll put a link down below. This is from 215 Gear, and I have 3 of these. I think I actually have 4 in total. I have 2 somewhere else, but these are awesome at holding lockpick sets in a Velcro environment like this. But I'm going to go with a different project moving forward. I can use this space for all manner of things. I had purchased this I'll try to provide a link down below for this. There is a knockoff version of this, which is terrible. And then there's a much better version. I'll try to find the better version of this holder for your snap gun if you are a snap gun user. But this guy can totally fit in here because this is Velcro as well. And I know someone's going in there, it's hook and loop. And someone, no, it's Velcro. I don't care. I don't care. Couldn't care less. I do like to put in other things in this, like my shims here. You know, so that way I can Lloyd my locks. This is my Lloyding shims. Or maybe I want to, you know, put something like this in here, an airbag or something like that, because I want to use that with a shove it tool. Or maybe I want to, I can also still have room for my rat tool in here. I mean, this really is a very versatile case, but I'm going to experiment with something a little bit different. My rat tool fits in this Maxpedition loop right here perfectly, and it all gets retained right here. And if you're not familiar with the rat tool, maybe I'll do a video on it someday, but this thing's super awesome. This is meant for first responders, firefighters, you know, law enforcement to be able to get through all different types of gates and different, you know, situations here. Hold on, let me close it. There we go. But I still am not happy with this because I have to open it up and I have to remove Velcro. I don't know. I'm experimenting with something else. If I am, and I could also alternatively put my data tool in here on this side. I can do a lot with this, but if I still feel it's limiting. I do have a larger Velcro option than this, and it ended up being too big, but I feel like this is like just perfect. Let me root this out of here. Let's say you're a locksmith and you want to carry an impressioning set. You have this really nice Swiss set here for impressioning, your Grobet set here, and you have your Framin impressioning handle here, and you have your really nice Grobet here. You could totally set this up with, let's see, this guy and this guy. So this would be for holding your Framin, and this would be for holding your favorite pippin file or rat tail round file like that. So very, very versatile with the hook and loop or Velcro. Velcro is a brand. It's trademark Sandman. I get it. I get it. So very cool. Or I could just roll this up and just put this in here by itself as well. Very versatile. I do like it. I'm going to provide links in the description down below for all of this. Not necessarily the tools, but the accessories for the soft goods, absolutely. So here's what I'm going to experiment with moving forward, and I'm going to give this a try, and I'm going to cut the video off so I can outfit it, and we'll see here. And that is, I recently purchased, sorry, things fell out, and I'm trying to fix it. Come on. How did... Okay, whatever. So I recently purchased a Leatherman Adapt Kit. And this thing, so far, looks really nice, and I think it's going to fix my needs. I don't know why my wife's hair is on this, but I'm going to fix... I think this is going to fix all of my problems here. The problem is I don't have... The case that I was using wasn't deep enough. And I want some more compartmentalization. And on the back of it, not only do I have a leather tray here that's waterproof, that if I could set my tools on when I'm at these bar settings, but I may be able to find a pinning tray in my collection that may fit this and work even better. I do like the idea of these straps back here for holding all of my individual tools that I don't want inside of my lockpick case. And they're a little too small to hold inside that Maxpedition. I don't know, I needed more compartmentalization. I wanted more separation from what I'm doing. And I like that I could probably go to a Locksport meetup and set this up, and I can set my tools down right here, and I could pick a lock right here or whatever. I could also probably gut a lock right here if I wanted to. So that being said, I could put gutting tools here in this section. And a part of this Leatherman Adapt Kit, it kind of looks like a lunchbox in a way, but I have waterproof zippers all around. I've got a pocket back here, just like I had on my previous one. But I really like this dump style here, so I can just take all of my lockpick sets that I'm going to use, and they're mostly rolls. All of my lockpick sets are rolls, and I can put everything here and still keep everything compartmentalized from my individual tools back here. And I think this is gonna work. I have a pocket here for maybe a Leatherman, or for maybe my my plug spinner right here. Maybe that could go there. I don't know. I think there's a lot of options here. And I have some elastic mesh pockets here and another zipper pocket right here. I think this is going to be what I want to do, because I just want retention, compartmentalization, and I want my tools to be safe, and this is padded, but I want it to be easy. I want to just do one zipper and then grab the set of tools that I need. I don't want to have to do a zipper and then start undoing you know, Velcro and things like that. The other one is really great for pictures if I was that kind of guy, but I think this is going to be more practical. I can just go in, grab the set that I need, and pull it out. So let's pause this video and let me set this up here. Let me play around with this for a couple minutes, and we're gonna see if I can meet all of the original needs that I wanted in the previous one, and see if I can beat those, you know, in here. I think I can. I mean, look, I already have 3 sets in here. If I wanted to, I could put this guy right there. I could put my bump keys in here. I could do all kinds of crazy stuff here. I have so much more room, so much room for activities. So let's give this a try and let's take a look. All right, I'm back. Guys, I think this is really gonna work. I went ahead and took the tags off of it because I think it's gonna fit all of my needs. Before I talk about the dimensions of this and, you know, what all I have in here, which is really gonna meet all my needs, first off, I want to show you guys, you don't have to spend a lot of money to carry your tools, and you don't have to be tactical like I'm being. I used this lunchbox for 10 years. I purchased this thing, I don't know, probably 15 years ago, and then never found a reason for having it. I just bought it like an impulse buy. And, you know, based off of the Nintendo Game Boy, I grew up with the Game Boy in the early 90s. And I was like, man, I want this thing. I don't know what I'm gonna use it for. And I may have used it for carrying my lunches, because that's what it is. It's just a lunch box. It's a cooler. But in 2013, when I started going to the Longhorn Lockpickers meetup here in Austin, Texas, I put my lockpicks in here because I was like, you know, if I get pulled over, I don't want some cop to be like, hey, where are you going? And I'm like, oh, I'm going to a lockpicking meetup. I just want to say, hey, I'm going to the Spider House Cafe, because that's where they used to meet. And, you know, I'm bringing my lunch with me. And I was like, this is the perfect, great way of just walking around town with lockpicks without looking super tactical and completely obnoxious. So this is what I used for over a decade, from 2013 to 2023. And I used to bring this to Locksport meetups in 2023. Absolutely. And it wasn't until I started trying to find ways to outrig this guy, because of all of its Velcro options here, and it looks cooler for when you take pictures for Instagram and whatnot. That's when I started making the transition. But you could totally use anything. I purchased this a while back. This is a Magpul pouch. This is actually just for camping. But, you know, there's some elastic straps in here and some pouches. I could easily put a lockpick set in here, and I could put, you know, some pinning stuff in here, and, you know, this will totally work. And I don't remember how much this is. Just go to Amazon, type in Magpul waterproof pouch. But do I really need it to be waterproof? I mean, I'm in Texas. It doesn't rain. I mean, we do have our flash floods, but I'm really not worried about it. This is really great for electronics, though. So if you have a Flipper Zero with your entry kit, then this would probably be ideal, actually. So this is pretty good. It's nice, and it's rubberized, and it's got some reinforcement here. So yeah, if I was into electronics, you know, and I had an OMG cable or some toys, you know, like a rubber ducky or something like that, you know, for, you know, some type of a Raspberry Pi or something like that for hacking, which I'm not. I don't know how to use any of those tools. Then this would be cool. I think this would be cool. I could do cable management in here. I could put the devices here. I could put some stuff here, maybe a lockpick set back there. That could totally work. Totally. But that's just not the kind of Locksporter I am. But I think this thing is going to work. Let's talk about some of the dimensions here. I should have measured the dimensions of the previous one, but they're not far off. This thing is much bigger though. So this thing wide, I mean, this thing looks pretty huge. It's about, I would say it's reaching, it looks like as you're looking at the camera that it's 4.5, but I promise you it's closer to 5 as I tilt it. Cause this thing is I have all the pockets full with stuff, just about. Now on the outside, I do have this reinforcement here, and it stands up on its own, so I can unzip this and drop, and I have my workspace right here. So I could totally gut a lock and do everything right here. I love that. I'm never going to gut a lock at a Locksport meetup. It's not going to happen. But I now have the opportunity to do so and not have to worry about losing my pins or losing my springs or anything like that. There is still, though, the off chance of like a spring like going somewhere. So maybe I might carry an extra set of springs and stuff. I do have little bitty cases that I could totally put in this. Totally. Oh, man, I could totally do that. So, yeah, in fact, maybe I'll even add that at the end of the video. I don't know. But I just... take my word for it. I have little cases with springs and extra pins. I can put that in a side pocket right here, no problem. I did go through the effort of trying to find a replacement for this Leatherman, and I tried the ITS Tactical. It's too big. I tried the He Who Shall Not Be Named. That's too big. And I tried UK Lockpickers. They're no longer in business because Alan passed away. God bless him. That is a little too big, so I don't have any pinning trays that will fit this as of yet. I could go with the Sparrow's mini pinning trays if I wanted to, but honestly, I don't think I necessarily need a pinning tray as much as I just need a workstation that if I wanted to, alternatively, I could pull this out and I could double up my workstation here, and I could put my tools here, and I could do my work here, whatever, you know. So this is cool. And you know, here I have my two most common plug followers. This is going to be for most key and knob cylinders and mortise and rim cylinders here in North America. And this is going to be for master, pack lock, and American lock. And this is going to be for slags where you need to remove the tailpiece on the back end. And sometimes I come across some Assa Abloy that have one of these deals as well that you need that. And then I have my pinning tweezers right there. And then I have just a simple, you know, screwdriver here where it's a flathead. And it's a Phillips head here from Packlock. God bless you, Packlock. And let's see here. Hold on one second. Put this guy back. And then I have my plug spinner. Any plug spinner should fit there. I would recommend the right-hand plug spinner. You can get it on sale for like 16 bucks half the time. R-Y-T-A-N, right-hand. I think that's how it's spelled. And otherwise, it retails for $24. This is an $80 plug spinner. It's not worth that. I bought it 10 years ago for 50 bucks. It wasn't worth that back then either, but I have it, so I use it. And then, of course, I have my Tri-Flow lubricant. And I love to use lubricant on locks, especially at Locksport meetups. They've been, you know, there's a group that I used to go to where the locks are literally 15 years old, and they have never bought more locks since. It's just the same locks that rotate through new owners for the past 15 years. So take some lubricant and you might have a little bit of better luck. And this folds up perfectly, guys, and I can totally add more stuff to this. If I want to, I can add a shove it tool right there, and I could totally, let's see what else I can add right here. I can add my door shims for Lloyding latches right there, or maybe I want to add a pick gun. I don't prefer a pick gun, but I could totally put a pick gun in there. Man, there's so much stuff I could put there. One more thing, if I wanted to, I could put my bump keys right here, and I could just add a bump hammer to the side of this guy, just like that. Super easy to carry. Not a problem. I'm probably not going to carry the bump key stuff anymore because I never use them. If a lock can be bumped, I promise you 100% that I'm probably going to be able to just rake it or pick it very easily. But I do like to have the option of bump keys in case I just get so frustrated. But you know what I really want instead is I want to get the Artemis from Multipick. The Artemis is a very small handheld electric pick gun, and it's like half the size of the Kronos, and I would love to put that in here as well. So let me zip this up. We'll talk about the other things that I have in here. I have this thing filled. I don't need all the stuff that's in here, but I put it in here anyways just so you could see. Obviously, I have a Leatherman right here. Fits perfectly in that side pocket, probably designed specifically for this. And over here, not only can I put my shove it tool, my Lloyding tools right here, I can also put my bump hammer right here. They both fit in here just fine. But I can also put my RAT tool, my rapid access tool right here for bypassing different types of gates and structures if I wanted to. And this would be really great if I had a patrol car, or if I had an ambulance, or if I was on a fire rig or fire truck or whatever. This would be really great. Now, this does have a really sharp edge here. So I took like a Plastomold or some type of like is it's like this plastic that you melt, you boil it, you bring it to a boil, and you pull it out, you let it cool, and then you can mold it, and it hardens over time. And I made one for this really sharp, essentially it's kind of like a pry bar here, and I made that so that way I wouldn't stab myself, and it's a perfect fit. It doesn't fall off. In fact, it's kind of hard to pull off, which I like. And so this doesn't tear, rip anything. It's not a danger to me or anybody or any of my equipment. And so this is how I used to carry this thing inside my previous case, you know, right here with this plastic, you know, thing right there. So anyways, I don't know what that's called. Just like, you know, plastiform something. I'm sure somebody in the comments was like, it's this. Okay. So I do like the ability to Lloyd my latches. So let me put that back in there because that was a good fit. Yeah, that's a perfect fit in there. I love that. Love it, man. And I'm going to go ahead and just put my shove it tool in here too. Why not? There. So I don't even need to carry my rat tool with these two tools, honestly. I really don't. But I'll probably keep my rat tool in my car as a backup. These zippers are fantastic, but only time will tell on how well they hold up. Fantastic. And I can always take out some stuff. I really loaded this up to show you its capabilities. Okay, so here we go. This thing's got to be at least 6 inches thick. This is incredible. So, but it's still the size of a lunch box here. So this back pocket right here, I have an actual entire lockpick case. It's a little bit tight. I'm probably not going to keep it in there, but wanted to show you the capabilities. And these are all of my tension tools from Multipick right there. So that was back here. Totally don't have to keep that back there. I just wanted to show you guys how much this thing holds. Boom, look at that. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 lockpick sets in here. Totally overkill, but when I went to the Locksport competition, or the lockpicking competition, I took my main rig, and then I took my leashy set, but then I also took a backup set of lockpicks in case I bent or broke a lockpick, and then I took a full set of dimple picks, which I probably really don't need to carry with me because I have dimple picks in my main line. So I just wanted to show you, you can totally fit 4 sets inside of here and a 5th set in that front pocket, but instead I'm probably going to go with 2 sets and then my extra turning tools right there. So let me pull these out right here. I have a little pocket back here I didn't make use of. Totally could have. And let's see here. These 2 mesh pockets here, I have my other soft goods. So I have the wrist cuff right here that holds my lock picks on my forearm right there. And I have the magnetic one right here for the left forearm for holding my tension wrenches. And then back here, of course, I have the hank. Now the hank I could put here in this back pocket, or I could put it in this front pocket. Doesn't matter at all. I'm gonna put it in this front pocket actually. So this is definitely now my new #1 carry-in rig. I'm gonna provide a link down below. I got this off of Amazon, was delivered in like 2 or 3 days. Fantastic. And there's really great retention here on this Leatherman. Not too worried about it slipping or falling out as long as I don't pick it up upside down. Everything is waterproof and there's just so much room. I love it. I love it. This is definitely my new solution for carrying all of my lockpick sets when I want to take my lockpick sets with me. So this is what's called line 2, and I'm quoting Uncensored Tactical, Pat Watson here when I do that. So, you know, all credit goes to him. Line 1 is what you carry on your body. So, you know, whether that be a simple jackknife lockpick set like this, or maybe you want to carry a full-size covert companion, or maybe you just want something a little bit smaller like the Multipick jackknife, which is like the lightest one on the market. That is line 1. So what you're willing to put in your pocket every single day, that is going to be your line 1. Line 2 is something that is, you know, next to you in your vehicle, maybe in your trunk, maybe, you know, behind the headrest, or maybe in the center console or the glove compartment. It doesn't have to be huge. Your line 2 could just be a simple lockpick set, or your line 2 could be a big rig like this. Your line 2 could also be a really big honking backpack, but it is something that you don't carry with you at all times. But when you know you're going into a situation where they said, hey, we need you to open this door for us because that's your line of work. Okay, I'm not suggesting this to civilians that are in Locksport as hobbyists. I'm talking to the locksmiths and the emergency responders here, first responders here. the line 2 is something like this that you would keep in the trunk or a backpack, or you could put this inside of a backpack to compartmentalize your pin tumbler tools from your other tools. Okay, so that would be an option too. And then your line 3 are even much larger tools that are absolutely obscure to what you may encounter on a day-to-day basis, like your vehicle entry tools. Those definitely stay in your vehicle at all times, or your, like, let's say like a battering ram, or your dynamic tools that are a little bit more, you know, for destructive entry, you know, things like that. So this is going to be my new line 2 carry, and I think this is a really great option. Of course, obviously, this guy was a really great, I made really great use of this, but it was still a little bit limiting for the amount of size and space that it takes up. This, in the end, works out to be about the same size. Actually, that's a little bit larger. That's a lot larger, actually. Look at that. So this is a little bit larger than this guy, and this guy holds twice as much as this. Now, it did expand to get a little bit fatter, but this was more versatile, and I was able to keep things compartmentalized. And let's not forget the simple fact that I can now do basic locksmithing, you know, back here. And I could totally add a larger screwdriver if I wanted to do real locksmithing. If I wanted to, I can add a real screwdriver here, or I could add a screwdriver in this back pocket to be adjacent from my Leatherman. I don't think I'd feel comfortable using my Leatherman as a screwdriver in the field. But this is a much better use of my space as it pertains to carrying one object back and forth to Locksport meetups or lockpicking competitions. Folks, I think that pretty much covers it. I'm still going to mess around with this thing and decide, you know, exactly what it is I really enjoy carrying in this, what I need, what I don't need. Those are all personal needs, of course. I could still make do with a lot of space. I can put my pick gun in here. You know, I'll try to figure out the best use of space for these guys. Maybe, I mean, I could still put these in here. I just don't want these tongs, or, you know, these little not twines, but tines, these little finger, you know, tools here for picking tubular locks here. I don't want that to tear up my lunch box. That's essentially what it is. It's the Leatherman Adapt Kit from Leatherman. A Leatherman Adapt Kit. Very cool. Very cool. Let's go over. This isn't meant to be a review of the Leatherman Adapt Kit. Maybe I'll do that in the future. Large compartment lined with polyester ripstop. 7 pockets for storage, elastic accessory loops, reinforced with a carry handle. Or reinforced carry handle, rather. Compression molded workspace with removable silicone tray. Self-standing for easy access. Love it. Love this, guys. This is fantastic. Maybe I'll do a review of this case by itself. That's all I have for today, folks. Let me know in the comments down below. What do you think of this setup? Do you have your own modifications? Are you guys using Maxpedition? I've tried it, but the retention on the Maxpedition is terrible. The pockets and the loops, the elastic loops in the Maxpedition, it's just too loose for my needs. But I think this is really going to do great. I love it. I love it. I love the compartmentalization here. I love the separation of these tools. And this is better. This is upgrade. This is an upgrade. That's all I have for today, folks. Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Mr. Sandman, bring us, please, 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 Mr. Sandman, bring us all dreams.